President Donald Trump of the United States, U.S. has announced plans to meet one-on-one with the President of China, Xi Jinping at Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC meeting coming this November in South Korea, and according to President Trump, he had a phone call with President Xi to also pay a state visit to China early next year to discuss and find a possible solution to end Russia-Ukraine war, and the U.S. issue with the Chinese-owned social networking company, TikTok, that may face complete ban in the United States if agreement is not reached on December 16, 2025. That aside, the United States government is currently being considered as a pseudo-practitioner of free trade and free speech, and freedom of association. Some observers accused U.S. government of monopoly in the technology industry, that it wants to remain superior in the social networking business. Hence the U.S. government is demanding to own and control TikTok, trying to use all manners of manipulative and deceptive ways to force ByteDance to sell TikTok to Oracle and Silver Lake, among others, because of China government alleged control of TikTok algorithm and also allegedly having access to the data of US users. Interesting as it may be, in the aspect of trying to apparently abuse freedom of association, United States government under President Donald Trump has revoked and denied visa to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and 80 other Palestinian authorities in order for them probably not being able to attend the United Nations General Assembly meeting to speak out their minds against Israel war in Gaza and other Palestinian territory. But other world leaders on Friday, in a vote of 145 against 5, permitted the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, to address the World Assembly via video call next week. China, as one of the biggest economies in the world, has been on loggerhead with its major trade rival, the United States, since 2018 during the first tenure of President Donald Trump, and its loggerhead with US has probably made China to maintain a strategic, pro-Russian position on the war in Ukraine, publicly claiming neutrality while allegedly providing essential economic and diplomatic support to Moscow. Reports indicated that Chinese officials privately admit that a Russian defeat would not serve Beijing's interests, which center on its geopolitical rivalry with the United States. Also, China's state-controlled media, Xinhua News Agency, People's Daily, China Central Television, which include China Global Television, China National Radio CNR and China Radio International CRI, some of them always using the prominent social networking platform in China, the Weibo social media, are frequently and apparently always amplifying Russian talking points, such as blaming and accusing the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, of expansionist agenda and the US for allegedly creating the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. On TikTok, as of September 2025, TikTok continues to operate in the US while its owner, ByteDance, negotiates a deal with American buyers to avoid a ban. The social networking app, which has since become one of the most used social media platforms in the world due to its favorable algorithm that challenged older existing social media platforms for low distribution of users' contents, was temporarily inaccessible in January 2025 following a Supreme Court ruling, but was restored after President Donald Trump delayed the ban. A key deadline is set for December 16, 2025, for a sale to be finalized. According to a close watcher, TikTok's US operations be severed from Chinese ownership. The per curiam opinion positioned the case as one of new technologies with transformative capabilities. In truth, the case, and the law it was ruling on, represents more than that. Regardless of how the implementation unfolds, the legal ban on Chinese ownership of social media apps operating in the United States is an inflection point in the US-China tech rivalry, with implications that extend beyond national security, data privacy, and the First Amendment. It signals a broader US strategy to counter China's technological influence across industries like semiconductors, artificial intelligence, AI, electric vehicles, and 5G. We learned that a framework deal has been reached that would give American investors control of 80% of TikTok, with Chinese firms retaining 20% ownership. Proposed buyers include Oracle, which already hosts TikTok's US data, and private equity firms like Silver Lake. It would be recalled that in April 2024, the US Congress passed a bipartisan law, signed by then-President Joe Biden, that requires Chinese parent company ByteDance to divest TikTok's US operations or face a nationwide ban. The law was prompted by national security concerns over potential Chinese government access to American users' data and its ability to influence the platform's algorithm. Wikipedia, in the summary of the China-US trade war, indicated that an economic conflict between China and the United States has been ongoing since January 2018, when US President Donald Trump began imposing tariffs and other trade barriers on China with the aim of forcing it to make changes to what the US has said are long-standing unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. The first Trump administration stated that these practices may contribute to the US-China trade deficit, and that the Chinese government requires the transfer of American technology to China. In response to the trade measures, CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping's administration accused the Trump administration of engaging in nationalist protectionism and took retaliatory action. Following the trade war's escalation through 2019, the two sides reached a tense Phase 1 agreement in January 2020. However, a temporary collapse in goods trade around the globe during the COVID-19 pandemic, together with a short recession, diminished the chance of meeting the target. China failed to buy the $200 billion worth of additional imports specified as part of it. By the end of Trump's first presidency, the trade war was widely characterized by American media outlets as a failure for the United States. The Biden administration kept the tariffs in place and added additional levies on Chinese goods such as electric vehicles and solar panels. In 2024, the Trump presidential campaign proposed a 60% tariff on Chinese goods. 2025 marked a significant escalation of the conflict under the second Trump administration. A series of increasing tariffs led to the US imposing a 145% tariff on Chinese goods, and China imposing a 125% tariff on American goods in response. These measures are forecast to cause a 0.2% loss of global merchandise trade. Despite this, both countries have excluded certain items from their tariff lists and continue to try and find a resolution to the trade war. In a statement through his Truth social media network on Friday, President Trump said in quotes that, "I just completed a very productive call with President Xi of China. We made progress on many very important issues including trade, fentanyl, the need to bring the war between Russia and Ukraine to an end, and the approval of the TikTok deal. I also agreed with President Xi that we would meet at the APEC summit in South Korea, that I would go to China in the early part of next year, and that President Xi would, likewise, come to the United States at an appropriate time. The call was a very good one. We will be speaking again by phone. Appreciate the TikTok approval, and both look forward to meeting at APEC." On US visa denial to Palestine President Mahmoud Abbas, it would be recalled that Mahmoud Abbas became the president of Palestine in 2005, and barely 2 years into his administration, the Hamas started governing the Gaza Strip after the Hamas took over the Palestinian Gaza Strip territory from the rival Fatah-ruled Palestinian Authority, PA, on the 14th of June 2007, until the current Israel war in Gaza that started since October 2023, during which Hamas appeared to have lost control of most of the territory. The administration of United States President Donald Trump announced in August 2025 it was denying and revoking visas for members of the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, and the Palestinian Authority, PA, before the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, in September. The announcement was made in a statement released by the U.S. Department of State. According to the statement, the Trump administration has been clear. It is in our national security interests to hold the PLO and PA accountable for not complying with their commitments, and for undermining the prospects for peace. The Palestinian government responded, and the Abbas's office called the visa decision astonishing, and a violation of the 1947 UN Headquarters Agreement, which requires the US to allow access for foreign diplomats. Reuters International News Agency on Friday reported that the United Nations General Assembly voted on Friday to allow Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to address the annual gathering of world leaders next week via video after the United States said it would not give him a visa to travel to New York. The resolution received 145 votes in favor and 5 votes against, while 6 countries abstained. It also allows Abbas and any other high-level Palestinian officials to take part in UN meetings or conferences via video over the next year if they are prevented from traveling to the United States. The US said last month that Abbas and about 80 other Palestinians would be affected by its decision to deny and revoke visas from members of the umbrella Palestine Liberation Organization and the West Bank-based Palestinian Authority. U.S. opposition to this resolution should come as no surprise, U.S. diplomat Jonathan Schreier said before the vote. The Trump administration has been clear: we must hold the PLO and Palestinian Authority accountable for not complying with their commitments under the Oslo Accords, some of them very basic, and for undermining the prospects for peace. Under a 1947 UN headquarters agreement, the U.S. is generally required to allow access for foreign diplomats to the UN in New York. However, Washington has said it can deny visas for security, extremism and foreign policy reasons. Abbas will also be allowed to appear via video at a summit, opens new tab at the United Nations on Monday, convened by France and Saudi Arabia, that seeks to rally support for a two-state solution. Several countries are expected to formally recognize a Palestinian state at the meeting. The 193-member General Assembly agreed on Friday, by consensus, without a vote, that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the kingdom's de facto ruler, could appear via video at Monday's meeting.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
It may be true that there are certain things people do to others, they may not take the same from anyone. This assertion appeared to have come into play in the current administration of Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who in the era of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan apparently used spin logic to always make false statements, incite the public against the government, destroy the reputation and personality of the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. As you may know, spin logic in communication is a public relations campaign strategy that uses deliberate biased or misleading interpretations of events and information to influence public perception. In one of the viral videos between 2012 and 2014 in the history of politics in Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was then a chieftain of the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, and later All Progressives Congress, APC, allegedly told a gathering of thousands of people that the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan said Nigeria citizens should face death or starve to death, directly or indirectly saying that the then President Jonathan did not care about the well-being of his people. Till date, Tinubu has not shown any evidence to back up his claim that the people are hungry. President Jonathan said they should face death, and in some occasions, Tinubu called on the police not to attack protesters. Specifically, on November 29, 2013, Tinubu tweeted via Twitter, now X social media platform, that police do not attack protesters, your children are involved, your lives are involved, your children's future lie here, and urged millions of Nigerians to protest peacefully against the Jonathan-led government. And in one of the protests, Occupy Niger, allegedly sponsored by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, according to Reno Omokri, who was then a media spokesperson to Jonathan, the then President Jonathan's photo was placed on a coffin as a dead man, and the coffin was labeled RIP, meaning rest in peace. Also, in February 2011, as reported by Nigeria media, Tinubu described the then President Goodluck Jonathan as a drunkard sinking fisherman, a word that appears to falsely describe the then President Jonathan as a man that always take too much of alcohol to the extent of losing control of his behavior. But, under the same Tinubu, who is now the President of Nigeria, The State Security Service, SSS, also known as the Department of State Service, DSS, has filed a court case against Facebook and X social media companies over a post published separately on August 25 and 26, 2025 by a well-known human rights activist and anti-government critic, Olumuyiwa Sowore, and his online media, Sowore reporters, and in the 5-count charges, the DSS accused Olumuyiwa Sowore of making defamatory or false statements against the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for describing the president as a criminal after the president allegedly said there is no more corruption in Nigeria. In the legal battle, Olumuyiwa Sowore has also gone to court to stop Facebook, X social media from deleting his posts and sued the DSS for unconstitutional media censorship. The DSS in the suit marked FHC ABJ CR 484 2025 also joined Meta, the parent company of Facebook and X Corporation, as defendants at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The criminal charges filed and dated September 16 was filed by Mohammed Abubakar, Director of Public Prosecutions, Federal Ministry of Justice, after the DSS wrote to Facebook, X and Sowore to delete the post and deactivate Sowore account, but the parties appeared to have refused to honor the DSS requests. In the 5-count charge, Sowore, the publisher of Sowore reporters, was alleged to have made a false claim against the person of the president by referring to him as a criminal. Sowore, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, in 2019 and 2023, in the charge is accused of contravening the provisions of the Cybercrimes, Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Amendment Act, 2024. Count 1 of the charge alleged that Sowore, on or about August 25, did use his official X handle page, @Sowore, to send out a message, tweet. The message is said to be, "This criminal at official PBAT actually went to Brazil to state that there is no more corruption under his regime in Nigeria. What audacity to lie shamelessly." The message, which he knew to be false, was posted for the purpose of causing a breakdown of law and order in the country, especially among individuals who hold divergent views on the personality of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The offense is said to be contrary to Section 24(1)(b) of the Cybercrimes, Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Amendment Act, 2024, among other counts. Meanwhile, Olumuyiwa Sowore also filed a lawsuit against the DSS and owners of Meta and X Corporation not to delete his posts, saying, "The issue is about principles, not personality." Sowore originating summon reads, "On behalf of our client, Olumuyiwa Sowore, we have filed 2 fundamental rights actions at the Federal High Court, Abuja, against the State Security Service, SSS, Meta, owners of Facebook, and X Corporation, formerly Twitter. These suits were filed to challenge the unconstitutional censorship initiated by the DSS, SSS against Sowore's accounts maintained with Meta and X. The lawsuit states categorically that this is about the survival of free speech in Nigeria. If state agencies can dictate to global platforms who may speak and what may be said, then no Nigerian is safe. Their voices will be silenced at the whim of those in power. Censorship of political criticism is alien to democracy. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in Section 39, guarantees every citizen the right to freedom of expression, without interference. No security agency, no matter how powerful, can suspend or delete those rights. Meta and X must also understand this. When they bow to unlawful censorship demands, they become complicit in the suppression of liberty. They cannot hide behind neutrality while authoritarianism is exported onto their platforms. Our prayers before the court are simple, that the SSS has no power in law to censor Nigerians on social media, that Meta and X must not lend their platforms as tools of repression, and that our clients' rights and by extension, the rights of all Nigerians, be fully protected against unlawful censorship. We call on all lovers of freedom, journalists, human rights defenders, and the Nigerian people to stand firm. Today it is Sowore, Tomorrow it may be you. This struggle is not about personalities. It is about principle, and we shall resist every attempt to turn Nigeria into a digital dictatorship. Signed, Toke Temokanov, Toke Temokan Chambers, Lagos, Esquire on the 16th of September 2025. We had reported that as people of Nepal in South Asia country took to the streets in an unprecedented manner to protest an end to corruption and bad leadership in the country during the week after a short-lived ban on social media by the Nepalese government, Nigeria's secret police known as Department of State Security Service, DSS appeared to have doubled efforts apparently to avert the unpleasant Nepal situation in the West Africa country, a situation where some politicians in the South Asia country tasted the bitter side of their citizens like never before. The DSS has appeared to be on the neck of ex-social media management to ensure the deletion of a post tweeted by the founder of Sowore Reporters News Media and a well-known anti-government critic, Olumuyiwa Sowore, that allegedly described the Nigeria president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a criminal, a statement Sowore made in reaction to the words of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over corruption in Nigeria while the president was on official visit in Brazil. The DSS said Sowore misrepresented the president's statement and as such, the supporters of the president are not happy over it. Hence, the security service demanded a retracted publication from Olumuyiwa Sowore, but, in a swift reaction, Olumuyiwa declined and accused the DSS of always acting illegally.
Hunger is increasing, they say so what?
Most of you don't know.
Unemployment is a cause, they say yes, we know.
Waste in Lagos.
Why are the people hungry? Is that let them face death?
But again, I can't say it enough.
That is what is in Abuja
This is with the kind of leaders
of today.
front runners in all this election.
The current way of governance
Town hall meeting people.
make nation do the
Can be
impossible.
used to generate electricity.
What it does, it makes poverty and the erosion of just society inevitable.
In Lagos.
We have gathered at this hour, in this place, to put an end to the national corruption and corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day and a new Nigeria to our people.
Can be used to generate electricity.
Today, the Nigerian people
Do you know that corn
are
generates
decent
electricity
and
waste in
hardworking
Lagos?
people.
Osasuwakan bringing you the news in a more digital way.
As people of Nepal in South Asia country took to the streets in an unprecedented manner to protest an end to corruption and bad leadership in the country during the week after a short-lived ban on social media by the Nepalese government, Nigeria's secret police known as Department of State Security Services, DSS appeared to have doubled efforts apparently to avert the unpleasant Nepal situation in the West Africa country, a situation where some politicians in the South Asia country tasted the bitter side of their citizens like never before. The DSS has appeared to be on the neck of ex-social media management to ensure the deletion of a post tweeted by the founder of Sowore Reporters News Media and a well-known anti-government critic, Olumuyiwa Sowore, that allegedly described the Nigeria president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a criminal, a statement Sowore made in reaction to the words of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over corruption in Nigeria while the president was on official visit in Brazil. The DSS said Sowore misrepresented the president's statement and as such, the supporters of the president are not happy over it. Hence, the security service demanded a retracted publication from Olumuyiwa Sowore, but, in a swift reaction, Olumuyiwa declined and accused the DSS of always acting illegally. In a letter written during the week and addressed to the Director General of the Department of State Services, Olumuyiwa said, "I acknowledge receipt of your letter, which you stealthily dumped with a security guard at the office of my attorneys in Abuja, addressed to Abubakar Marshall. I find your horrendous attempt at holding an unwarranted brief for the president not only insidious but fundamentally defective, flawed in principle, and absolutely unlawful. The State Security Service was not created as a security institution. The SSS, now self-styled as the DSS, began as the Department, Special Branch, an office established in 1948 and initially located in the Office of the Inspector General of Police. It was later renamed the National Security Organization, NSO, but on June 5, 1986, the federal military government issued Decree No. 19, dissolving the NSO and unbundling it into three entities: the SSS for Domestic Intelligence, the NIA for External Intelligence and Counterintelligence, and the DIA for Military-Related Intelligence. While the NIA and DIA largely kept faith with their mandates, the SSS under successive Director Generals has consistently acted bullishly, illegally, and unlawfully, serving as a ready tool of oppression for dictatorial regimes bent on breaking rules and repressing the rights of the Nigerian people. Thus, it is no surprise that you have once again resumed repressive hostility against me. In 1993, while I was Student Union President at the University of Lagos, policemen abducted me from the university gate during a peaceful pro-democracy protest. I was taken to your Lagos office after being driven around with my head tucked under a seat. From Awolowo Way in Ikoyi, I was detained unlawfully for weeks at the notorious Inter-Center near Ikoyi Cemetery. It took several days of lecture boycotts to force your hand to release me without charges. Again, in January and June 1996, during and after my National Youth Service Corps in Yola, Adamawa State, your men detained me and later transferred me to the Nigerian Air Force Base, where I was held in hand and leg chains for over a week before release, again without charges. My NYSC discharge certificate has been denied to me to this day because of your unlawful detention. In August 2019, DSS agents invaded my hotel room, abducted me, and detained me for months over trumped-up allegations of treasonable felony, money laundering, and cybercrime. It was your first attempt to falsely accuse me of insulting a sitting president. That failed, as did every other false accusation advanced against me by the government through the SSS and police. During that period, you flouted several court judgments. Most disgracefully, your men invaded a federal high court presided by Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu to abduct me even after bail conditions were met. To this day, you continue to refuse to obey two court judgments ordering the return of my confiscated properties, including several mobile phones and payment of damages. You and your ilk have dragged me through unscrupulous abuse and gross violations of rights for decades without remorse. In 2021, during the inglorious Buhari years, your agency propped up a sham group, the Incorporated Trustees of Global Integrity Crusade Network, to sue Sahara reporters and me on behalf of the criminally minded Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, San. They prayed the court to compel me and others to pay Malami 2 billion nairas for alleged trauma and emotional stress caused by Sahara reporters' publications in July 2020. In his judgment, Justice Obiora Egwuatu awarded 100,000 nairas against the litigants, affirming the argument of our attorney, Marshal Abubakar, that they had no right to sue on Malami's behalf, just as you have no right to act as proxy for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Defamation, the judge reminded, is a personal tort. The AGF should have gone to court himself if he felt defamed. It is elementary that only the person defamed can sue. Therefore, your attempt to demand a retraction is an incompetent and unlawful attempt to hold the President's brief. Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution requires the press to uphold the government's responsibility and accountability to the people. Section 39 guarantees every citizen the right to freedom of expression, to hold opinions, and to receive and impart information without interference. Article 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights provides the same. Even in the UK, sedition and libel laws have been repealed as archaic relics of a bygone era. The UN Human Rights Committee in General Comment No. 34 has declared a free, uncensored media essential to democracy. Courts across Africa, including Zimbabwe's Supreme Court and the African Court in Issa Konate vs. Burkina Faso, have ruled that criminal defamation is unjustifiable in a democracy. Nigeria's own Court of Appeal, in Arthur Nwankwo vs. State, 1985, struck down sedition laws when Nwankwo was convicted for criticizing Governor Jim Nwobodo. The court held that sedition was unconstitutional and inimical to free speech. Justice Adekeye, in IGP versus ANPP, asked how long Nigerians must suffer under colonial-era public order ordinances designed to gag dissent. Criticism is indispensable in a democracy. Freedom of speech includes the right to say what those in power find uncomfortable. Justice Sowore reminded us that citizens must defend their hard-won freedom of expression, and that those in public office must not be intolerant of criticism. Where boundaries are crossed, the remedy is civil libel, not unlawful repression. The DSS's desire to please the powers that be has always destroyed institutions while building strong men. But where are those strong men today, after your service broke laws and trampled rights to protect them? Rather than vilification, we should be commended for living up to our constitutional responsibility to hold leaders accountable. I am glad you made reference to my constant desire to seek change, the very drive that led me to run for the position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, even though my commitments and convictions predate partisan political endeavors. It is from that same line of conviction that I have adopted an uncompromising stance, ensuring that this country does not continue down the path of perdition. You have no business telling me how to criticize the president, but, knowing the nature of your service, it is clear you have not learned your lessons. Let me state it clearly once again, the determination of the Nigerian people to reclaim their country from thieves in power is unwavering. And it shall be achieved. Freedom cometh by struggle, Aluta continua, Victoria asserta. Yours in unwavering service to Nigeria, Olumuyiwa Sowore, former presidential candidate, African Action Congress, AAC, stated.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Olumuyiwa Adejobi has officially announced the appointment of Chief Superintendent of Police, CSP Benjamin Hundeyin as the new Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Police Force. After him, the former police force spokesperson was promoted, reassigned and redeployed to Delta State as the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, a sensitive position that has generated massive reactions from members of the public, especially those who widely believed that DCP Olumuyiwa used his office as force spokesperson to suppress freedom of speech by arresting and detaining people on grounds of alleged cyber-talking and violence instigation against the Nigeria police force, while many accused him of abandoning the main security challenges affecting Nigeria, and created more time for himself to be reading through comment sections on social media to harass innocent young Nigerians over mere comments, and the new posting may offer DCP Olumuyiwa the opportunity to always lead a team of combat joint security squads to battlefields where he may have direct contact with some of the deadly and well-armed gunmen in the South and Southeast geopolitical zones, like, he's expected to lead offensive and defensive operations against militants and armed robbers who have killed several policemen, sometimes in mass numbers in recent years in the oil-rich Delta State where his new job function required him as the police field combat commander of the state to develop combat strategies to address cases of oil bunkering, kidnapping and more strategies to confront and push back Biafra secessionist armed groups widely believed have good positions and camps in Delta State. In a statement issued a few minutes ago, DCP Olumuyiwa said, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetoken, has approved the appointment of CSP Benjamin Hundeyin as the new Force Public Relations Officer, FPRO. CSP Hundeyin holds a BA, Hons, in English Language from Lagos State University and an MSc in Legal Criminology and Security Psychology from the University of Ibadan. He also obtained a certificate in Civil Military Coordination from the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Training Center, Jaji, Kaduna State. He is an associate of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, a member of the International Public Relations Association, IPRA, and an associate of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, CIPM. A seasoned communicator, CSP Hundeyin previously served as the police public relations officer at Zone 2 Command Headquarters, Enikan, Lagos, was part of the Nigerian contingent to the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Darfur, Sudan, UNAMID, in 2020, and served as the administration officer at the Force Public Relations Department, Force Headquarters, Abuja. Until his present appointment, he was the Police Public Relations Officer for the Lagos State Police Command. The Inspector General of Police has charged him to leverage on his communications and security experience to bolster the force public relations activities and ensure continuous positive relations with the public. He can be reached on 07062606717 or benjamin@hundeyin.com. In an earlier press release, DCP Olumuyiwa said, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetoken, has approved the posting of the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, as the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Department of Operations, Delta State Command. This deployment underscores the confidence of the force leadership in his wealth of experience, professionalism, and capacity to further strengthen operational strategies in the command. The IGP has commended DCP Adejobi for his exceptional service as Force Public Relations Officer, noting his professionalism, commitment, and remarkable contributions to strengthening the image and communication strategies of the Nigeria Police Force. The IGP expressed confidence that he will bring the same level of dedication and excellence to his new assignment in Delta State. Meanwhile, arrangements are being concluded for the announcement of a new Force Public Relations Officer. DCP Olumuyiwa stated this on Wednesday.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Dangote Group, owned by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, has denied ownership of the two trucks involved in separate road accidents on Wednesday at Azala, Four Corner area, close to the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC State Command and the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, UNTH in Enugu State, that claimed 10 lives and injured 10 others currently receiving treatments in the hospital. The company made the denial based on the report made available by the Enugu State Command of the Nigeria Police Force that the two trucks involved in the accidents were owned by Visco Investment Global Limited and Global Investment, but videos made available online by road users and residents who witnessed the scenes of the accidents showed the name of Dangote boldly written and inscribed on the head of one of the trucks involved in the accidents. The police said the first incident occurred around 9 o'clock in the morning, claiming 6 lives, and the other took place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, killing 4 persons. And our check indicated that the Visco Investment Global Limited is registered by Nigeria Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, as a general contractor, and the company head office is opposite Dangote Cement Factory at Obajana in Lokoja area of Kogi State. And its statement on Wednesday, Dangote Group may have admitted Visco Investment Global Limited as a partner, as it described the contracting company as a third party. The Enugu State Police Command in a press release on Wednesday said the command regrets to inform the public of 2 separate but tragic fatal road accidents that occurred today, the 3rd of September 2025, along the Azala, Four Corner axis of the dual carriage Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. The crashes claimed 10 lives and left 10 others hospitalized. The first incident, a multiple vehicle crash, happened at about 9 a.m. on the Enugu inward-bound lane. A Howo truck, inscribed Visco Investment Global and laden with bags of white cement, was en route Abuja from Abia State, when it collided with a Toyota Corolla car that was attempting to overtake another truck on the same route. A Photon bus and a Daihatsu Hijet minibus, both driving one way, were also caught in the collision. Sadly, the truck head and the Toyota Corolla car went up in flames, with 5 occupants of the car burning to death. A passenger in the minibus was equally confirmed dead by the attending medical doctor. Similarly, at about 3 p.m. on the same road, another fatal crash occurred. This time, it involved a Sino truck belonging to Global Investment and a tricycle. The truck, laden with cement and driving one way from Gariki Enugu to Nenwe in Ananri local government area, on the same Enugu inward-bound lane, rammed into the tricycle, leading to the death of its 4 occupants. They were rushed to the hospital but later confirmed dead. 10 other persons, injured in the separate crashes, are currently receiving medical attention. The Commissioner of Police, Enugu State Command, CP Maman Bitresgewa, while mourning the tragic loss of lives and commiserating with the families of the deceased, has directed the State Motor Traffic Department to carry out a diligent investigation into the circumstances surrounding the accidents. The CP describes the crashes as avoidable and strongly cautioned drivers to exercise utmost care, especially during these ember months, when road traffic usually increases and accidents are more frequent. He reminded motorists that no journey is worth the loss of lives, urging them to shun recklessness, obey traffic rules, and prioritize safety over speed to prevent further tragedies, SP Denal Ndukwe, the police public relations officer, Enugu State Command stated. In a statement signed by its management on Wednesday, Dangote Group said the vehicle with Dangote inscription was operated by a third party. We are engaging with the appropriate agencies to find out why the truck was carrying our logo when it is not part of our fleet. Going forward, we will apply more scrutiny to the unauthorized use of our brand identity, especially the misuse of our logo on vehicles not linked to the group. Ordinarily, it is our policy not to comment on individual cases, but the spread of misinformation linking these incidents to the Dangote Group without evidence has compelled us to respond. We call on the public and the media to avoid spreading unverified claims, the statement partly read. We are committed to cooperating fully with the relevant authorities and insist that investigations should be allowed to run the course without interference. We strongly reject attempts to exploit tragedies like this for malicious or financial gain, the Dangote Group stated, and the company maintained that it remains committed to the highest standards of corporate responsibility, safety, and integrity. We had reported that a well-known human rights activist and a humanitarian, Martins Vincentots aka Veridakman, has apparently threatened the media, especially those he referred to as bloggers, not to use his video contents on their page, and if they do, he would report the video to the management of social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, among other online platforms. The video or videos were published and ensured the video or videos are brought down or removed. He stated this on Tuesday noon in a 9 minutes video wherein he accused the media, especially those he referred to as bloggers, of not joining hands with him and others to launch massive campaign and awareness when Ruth Ottobour was alive, the sister of the Big Brother Nigeria Season 7 winner, Ejima Ottobour aka Fina, who allegedly needed more attention and care from Dangote Group of company owned by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, whose truck hit Ruth Ottobour few days after the accident. Victim, Ruth Ottobour, rounded off her examinations as a final year student of Federal Polytechnic in Auchi, but, according to Veridakman, soon after the death of the accident victim was announced on Sunday, bloggers started publishing the news stories massively. Continuing, Veridakman accused Fina of being a greedy person, saying, Fina wrote a demand list of 1 billion naira to Dangote even when she has not visited her sister in the hospital to know the true picture of her condition. In a swift reaction, a well-known sex educator who uses raw words to pass across her teachings, Iziagbe Ogbede aka Ekia Queen, condemned the act of Veridakman, saying it was the alleged greed of Fina that killed her sister, with Ekia Queen accusing Veridakman of being a liar who is trying to cause more pains to the bereaved Fina even when he knows her sister just died less than 48 hours ago. We had reported that the management of Dangote Group says they are saddened over the death of Ruth Ottobour, the sister of Big Brother Niger Season 7 winner, Ejima Ottobour aka Fina, saying they had concluded all arrangements and made all necessary efforts to fly the accident victim abroad for the continuation of her medical treatment, but the company was waiting for her doctors to certify her fit for air travel. The company owned by Aliko Dangote, the Africa's richest man according to Forbes, made the statement in a press release issued few minutes ago after the death of the new graduate from Federal Polytechnic in Auchi was announced by her family through their lawyer, Barrister Justice Shegun Ojino of Echo Solicitors and Advocates, saying, the graduate who was knocked down alongside her motorcycle rider by a truck owned by Dangote Group in Auchi community earlier this month, passed on exactly 6:30 hours on Sunday.
Sowore, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that the West Africa country has no fear over whatever the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is doing, although the Nigeria president did not give details what the US president is doing that the nation has no fear of, but President Tinubu, at a meeting with political leaders at the State House in Abuja on Tuesday, said that the country has met its revenue target for 2025 from non-oil revenue sources, saying, if Nigeria as of August has already met revenue target from non-oil products, the country has no fear of whatever the President of the United States, US, is doing, adding that the economy of the country is now stabilized, saying, the Naira currency is now performing well in the foreign exchange market, with a claim he met dollar exchange rate at 1,900 Nairas per $1 on May 29, 2023 when he took over as the president of the West Africa country, praising himself that he has worked hard to reduce the foreign exchange rate from 1,900 Nairas to 1,450 Nairas per $1, a claim we fact-checked to be very incorrect. We observed that President Bola Tinubu on May 29, 2023 met foreign exchange rate at 461 Nairas per $1. On the day of his inauguration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu issued a policy statement directing the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure a unified exchange rate, a policy statement that made the exchange rate to increase from 461 Nairas to 853 Nairas per $1 at the end of 2023. After the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu officially pegged and increased the foreign exchange rate from 461 Nairas to 750 Nairas per $1 in his 2024 budget, which made cost of foodstuffs and other cost of living in the country to increase more than 200%, and while presenting the 2025 budget, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pegged and increased the foreign exchange rate from 750 Nairas to 1,500 Nairas per $1. This policy action of the president has since made cost of foodstuffs and other basic necessities in Nigeria to increase outrageously more than 700% with no reduction till date, like, a sachet water that used to be sold for 5 Nairas is now sold between 20 Nairas to 50 Nairas in some locations in Nigeria. Details of some of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's statements as presented by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, reads verbatim below. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said on Tuesday in Abuja that the revenue target for 2025 was achieved in August, following economic reforms focused on stimulating the non-oil sector. He said that the bulk of the revenue came from the non-oil sector. The president assured Nigerians that the renewed hope agenda is firmly anchored on building critical infrastructure, improving health facilities, ensuring food sovereignty, and providing security. He spoke at a meeting at the presidential villa with the founding members of the defunct Congress for Progressive Change and the Buhari organization, led by the former governor of Nasarawa State, Umaru Tanko al-Makura. President Tinubu said that the economy was heading in the right direction. The economy is now stabilized. Nobody is trading pieces of paper for foreign exchange, forex, anymore. The economy is now predictable. You do not need to know the CBN governor, Yemi Cardoso, to obtain foreign exchange or import goods. What we need now is building the ship and the vessels for the export of our goods and creating more jobs for our people, the president noted. He said the federal government will establish agricultural mechanization centers in all regions of the country to build capacity, expand cultivation and harvest, and guarantee food sovereignty. We are going to have trainees. That program is our path to food sovereignty. Quote, reflecting on his long-standing relationship with the CPC, President Tinubu described the political journey and merger as a sweet memory, and expressed gratitude to the group for their support. When I see people like you, I am determined to work harder. President Tinubu assured the delegation that the legacies of former President Muhammadu Buhari would be sustained and immortalized with the Buhari House, adding that more members of the old CPC would be given opportunities to participate in the government. Thank you for your patience until now. But first of all, we must cure the economy and bring hope to the people, which is what we stand for. Thank you for believing in me, he said. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, thanked President Tinubu for his statesmanship and magnanimity towards the people and government of Katsina State. Abbas thanked the President for his vision and broad-mindedness in accommodating all political stakeholders. The leader of the delegation and former governor of Nasarawa State, Al-Makura, said members of the former Congress for Progressive Change are committed to the success of the APC government. Al-Makura thanked the President for his extensive participation in the final rites for President Buhari. You not only buried President Buhari but also honored him and ensured a befitting state burial with full military honors. Above all, your presence throughout the ceremony was comforting as it was reassuring, Al-Makura stated. He assured President Tinubu of the group's loyalty and support. This is to assure you that we believe in your administration, and that will be our focus and commitment to ensure the success of our party and your ultimate victory in the 2027 elections, Al-Makura stated.
The economy is stabilized. Nobody is trading piece of paper for exchange rate anymore. When I took over, 1.9 is 1.35, 1.45 now. It's been stabilizing there. People can predict. You don't have to know a Cardozo before you get your foreign exchange, you get your imports. What we need now is building the ship, the vessels, for export and import of our goods and create jobs for the people. There's a guarantee there. I know many of you had to suffer the initial abuse and the fear. Where are we going? We know the direction that we should go. We are going up. No, those who may not know will not know. Today I'm standing before you, I can brag that Nigeria is not borrowing, it's dying from local bank. The revenue, we have met our target of revenue for the whole year. We met it in August. I've reviewed this morning. Non-oil. If non-oil revenue is going well, then we have no fear of whatever Trump is doing on the other side. And I've just signed off on a huge mechanization, program that every region we have a mechanized center.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Well-known human rights activist and a humanitarian, Martins Vincent Otts aka Veridogman has apparently threatened the media, especially those he referred to as bloggers, not to use his video contents on their page, and if they do, he would report the video to the management of social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, among other online platforms. The video or videos were published and ensured the video or videos are brought down or removed. He stated this on Tuesday noon in a 9-minute video wherein he accused the media, especially those he referred to as bloggers, of not joining hands with him and others to launch massive campaign and awareness when Ruth Otterbor was alive, the sister of the Big Brother Nigeria Season 7 winner, Ejima Otterbor aka Fina, who allegedly needed more attention and care from Dangote Group of company owned by Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, whose truck hit Ruth Otterbor few days after the accident victim. Ruth Otterbor rounded off her examinations as a final-year student of Federal Polytechnic in Auchi, but, according to Veridakman, soon after the death of the accident victim was announced on Sunday, bloggers started publishing the news stories massively. Continuing, Veridakman accused Fina of being a greedy person, saying, Fina wrote a demand list of 1 billion naira to Dangote even when she has not visited her sister in the hospital to know the true picture of her condition. In a swift reaction, a well-known sex educator who uses raw words to pass across her teachings, Iziagbe Ogbede aka Ekia Queen, condemned the act of Veridakman, saying it was the alleged greed of Fina that killed her sister, with Ekia Queen accusing Veridakman of being a liar who is trying to cause more pains to the bereaved Fina even when he knows her sister just died less than 48 hours ago. Earlier before today, when the accident victim, Ruth Otterbor, was still alive, Veridakman published a video narrating how Fina allegedly betrayed him when Dangote Group invited her for possible settlement after Veridakman and many others in the society took to their social media page to campaign and protest over the Dangote truck accident, reportedly leading to immediate amputation of the 2 legs of the female victim, Ruth Otterbor. Veridakman said, when Fina got the attention of Dangote Group, Fina sent a message to him that the Dangote Group requested that they don't want him, Veridakman, in the discussion. An action Veridakman considered to be that Fina was the one that betrayed him, apparently because of money. It is yet to be ascertained if truly the Dangote Group rejected Veridakman in the discussion, but, if the claim is confirmed to be true, we believe the Dangote Group may have rejected Veridakman because Veridakman apparently insulted the person and the personality of Aliko Dangote, the founder of the Dangote Group, while he was protesting over the accident. In the 9-minute video on Tuesday, Veridakman withdrew his earlier statement and a threat he had issued, that, if anything happened to Fina's sister, he would travel to Auchi and ensure Dangote operations were shut down in Auchi. He said on Tuesday that he would no longer travel to Auchi because of Fina's sister, adding that, if Dangote truck hit another person, he would do what he had earlier said. He said he decided not to travel to Auchi to keep to his words, so that people will not accuse him of creating contents for the purpose of making money on social media. Indirectly, Veridakman was apparently referring to Ekia Queen, who had accused and described Veridakman as a mere contents creator who she also accused of being a manipulator. Ekia Queen called out Veridakman with a sustained day and night social media campaign, describing Veridakman as a mere content creator after she accused Veridakman of requesting YouTube to remove her video. Allegation Veridakman did not deny. Veridakman said she was the one that violated the copyright law by using his video. But, Ekia Queen said the video was a meaningfully enhanced video content which she did voiceover in reaction to the statements made by Veridakman in the video. Reacting to the Veridakman statement against Fina on Tuesday in a 5-minute video, Ekia Queen said that one should pray that someone whose words are widely accepted in the society should not tell lies against you, the way and manner Veridakman on Tuesday took to his social media page to allegedly tell lies against Fina. According to Ekia Queen, the situation Fina found herself, anybody would definitely demand money as compensation in order for the family to be able to take care of their sister. Hence, she described the Veridakman statement as emotional blackmail made with intent to cause more pains to Fina even when Fina is still in the period of mourning. We have reported that the management of Dangote Group says they are saddened over the death of Ruth Otterbor, the sister of Big Brother Niger Season 7 winner, Ejima Otterbor aka Fina, saying they had concluded all arrangements and made all necessary efforts to fly the accident victim abroad for the continuation of her medical treatment, but the company was waiting for her doctors to certify her fit for air travel. the company owned by Aliko Dangote, the Africa richest man according to Forbes, made the statement in a press release issued few minutes ago after the death of the new graduate from Federal Polytechnic in Auchi was announced by her family through their lawyer, Barrister Justice Shegun Ojino of Echo Solicitors and Advocates, saying, the graduate who was knocked down alongside her motorcycle rider by a truck owned by Dangote Group in Auchi community earlier this month, passed on exactly 6:30 hours on Sunday.
Alright, so boys they coming from Auchi. Yeah, very dark one. When are you coming to Auchi? Remember, say you talk, say if anything happen to Fina's sister, we make her cry. Say we go shut down operation of Dangote for Auchi. Well, boys, we gonna stand down. I will not be coming to Auchi to create content again.
I'm just making this
Dangote
life.
can enjoy freely. There shall be no consequences for the recklessness of his driver. Dangote, enjoy your business. I will not be coming to create content. If it happen again, another issue where no relate to Fina, Dangote and all, maybe I see come to create awareness and to say no, enough is enough of this reckless unlicensed killing by Dangote.
So my stand is to be established for life. Just graduated.
Down. Number two. This secret where everybody they talk, say very dark man leak. Why did he go and say Fina's sister have children? Why did he go and say that? They told him
feet. I was already happy that
the post where they take
I was even thinking when she graduates, my head go calm down. I go feel calm down.
On the girl obituary picture,
they carry me going.
Friend, sister, mother. That's the one that they hide. Go their obituary picture. You know, see this life. That thing, run and won't hide, run and hide. Would have put more pressure on Dangote. When Dangote people know that this is a mother of 2 infant children, should have put a lot of pressure on them to make sure they don't do that again.
If you say Dangote, they keep before goes scot free.
Now to feel now.
Dangote, you don't buy me. They tell them now. Make somebody help me tell Dangote.
Agreed.
Make somebody help me tell them. It has happened. It has happened. I need assistance. They need to come out and join me. My sister needs to be flown out. Don't treat her legs. Her head.
You have not seen the girl.
Alright,
you never know the condition.
The
only called us, which you told me that, oh, the girl no fish it again. All her intestine, everything don't scatter. So it was a 50-50 chance from the onset.
It was a very hard decision. Everybody was calling me
to
living on 50-50.
Bro.
Everybody was calling me that the doctor was
never see this girl.
They were calling me to decide I could not talk.
The flyer abroad. They'll do the sister scholarship and blah blah blah. This whole thing, money would have never. You're not even supposed to mention money when you're talking to them. You should pressure them. Revive my sister first. Then when they get done with, then you cannot say, hey, now you place my sister on salary.
I'm just making this life.
You place her on salary for eternity because now put her for that condition. You give her children scholarship because she for the cater for her children.
I don't do social media posting.
So simple as ABCD.
All I want is Dangote has to join me.
But it don't happen, it don't happen.
And help my sister because she's been crippled for life. Mother, check her now. She's not what she go for life. So my sister needs to be established for life. She just graduated. Her dreams cut short. Everything cut short.
Mama T. I see a video.
Everything cut short.
Me for a long time.
I'm not go fit. I was already happy that last. I was even thinking when she graduates, my head go come down. I go fit calm down. I do my life.
I don't watch none of them.
They carry me going.
I don't watch none of them. I don't know where the game came from, bro. But you don't the show right from time. Do you understand? You don't the show right from time. So I don't even pay attention to you. And what if this one where they do like that guy. Where they like that one 2023. You see the way this guy they insult me on videos.
If you say Dangote,
just they insult me
before go scot free. Dangote, you don't buy me. They tell us now. Make somebody help me tell Dangote.
2025.
Make somebody help me tell us.
The audacity, same person where you don't call non-entity, where you insult, where you don't call.
They need to come out and join me. My sister needs to be flown out. Don't treat her legs.
Don't forget all your insults.
Alright,
use my own platform.
The other leg
Rattles get voice. We'll come join you, go to electoral reform. That's the way you insult me to say I can't depress and don't continue with that. Go get platform where you won't call.
Everybody was calling me to decide. Everybody was calling me that they were calling me to decide I could not talk.
And again, I won't even join you now. Yesterday night I thought about joining you guys, but there's a problem. You know, say when I say I get main character syndrome, I get hero syndrome.
Ahmed.
If I come now,
A
my main
right
character
hand.
will come. They know see when I
One
take
leg.
a shine.
It's got
So
the
I
other
cannot join
leg.
you to
You get a
fight.
see.
You understand? I
I'm
cannot
just
join you to
making
fight. I'm
this
sorry.
live
My main character hero syndrome
because
will
I
not
dey
let
show
me join.
workings.
So
I
I'm
go
not
show
doing my shadow
workings.
now.
I
Let
know
me
the
just
rants.
keep on using my own
No, I
platform
don't
to
do
fight
social
for the
media
people where no be,
posting.
where they want made the main
All I
character
want
dey.
is
Man use my
Dangote
main
has
character
to
to fight
join
for the
me.
people where no get voice.
And help my sister
Understand?
because she's been crippled
For the
for
people who
life.
get voice, I can use my main
Mama,
character.
check her now.
I could go the place
You
where
know
the thing
how she go
happen. I can use
for
my main
life.
character
So my
to
sister
get
needs
them
to be
lawyers,
established
my
for
money,
life. She just
to
graduated.
anything where
Her
concern money.
dreams cut short.
To help them fight,
Everything
make sure
cut
they get
short.
justice. I will use my main character to fight for the people that don't have the
Everything
voice.
cut
For una
short.
already get on a platform.
I'm not
Don't use
gonna
am.
fit. I
Don't
was
do
already
like
happy
electoral
that
reform.
last
Don't call me none of
I was
that.
even thinking when she
And
graduated,
to all
my
these
head
other
will come
influencers who they
down.
talk, find
I
out
go
people
fit
who
calm
sit down in your house to
down.
talk.
Fit do my
Every
life.
time I sit down for an house, they do one
They
nonsense
carry me
analysis.
go
Come outside and actually lead something so that I go achieve a goal. You go sit down in your house, this are just you have never gone to where things is happening before to at least do something. At least I feel beat my chest. Okay, yeah. Public schools in Abuja today, the day in operation because yes, we went to go and fight. A lot of things, my family count down.
If you say Dangote,
what can you do with yourself to
before
do?
Dangote.
That's why I don't take you serious. Some of these influencers, they tag me when they are telling me something. Okay, they have this, say that man be scam. You will tag me, but your own platform, you cannot use it to fight. But when it's time for endorsement, you go collect endorsement on your platform. Ambassadorship, you go collect her. Paid advert, you go collect her. Una to make money, but I don't use my own platform fight. Then I'll remember that time. Then I'll come do one nonsense analysis. Man,
even that night happened.
Now, to
it
the
was
blogger,
a very hard decision. Everybody was calling me to decide.
See my video on your blog, I'll bring it down.
Everybody was calling me that the doctor they were calling me to decide. I could not talk. Yes, from here. And the court come out.
If they are not paying you people, you people are not interested. But if you now come push my engagement for the page, now carry my video, go push. So that people will talk, controversy will dey, people will argue for the page, then will get engagement. Comments go full, 10,000, 8,000. That's when you remember very dark man. But when very dark man they fight, you know they use your platform to join now to fight for the good of the country. Now let's take this case of this small girl when I thought she was for so entry knack. That's more
all I want is Dangote has to
even
join
this thing and sister matter from the onset. Where were
and
you
help
guys?
my sister because she's been crippled for
But
life.
immediately they get by. Boom! If you know the blogs. When me and Fina they go back
for
and
life. So
if
my
you know the
sister needs to
blogs.
be established for life. She just graduated.
From everybody to
dreams
make sure
cut
they don't
short.
do the right thing.
Everything cut short.
So that's what I'm saying now today. Please, I don't want to see myself Insta blogging and go. I don't want to see myself on your feed.
I was already happy that
bring it down. All the bloggers, apart from
graduated, my head go come down. I go fit calm down. Fit do my life.
Facebook people, you can use my
They
video.
carry me go.
Mazuka Bog they pay. I don't have my brothers, not my Nigerian brothers. Enjoy it. TikTok, you can use it. Do you understand? Don't go YouTube, they'll bring that down. There's everywhere. Cash out. If you want to insult me, there's no problem. And I'll be my brother St. John, I'll be my sister St. John, the chop. I'm a Zuckerberg money.
See, if you say Dangote, they keep before go spot free.
Because to be honest, at the end of the day,
don't
what do I need these blogs to
now.
post me
Make
for?
somebody
I
help
don't
me
collect
tell
about, I don't do
Dangote.
promotion, I don't collect
Make
ambassadorship.
somebody help me
None
tell
of
her.
this. So I don't even need the visibility
I
for
don't-
anything.
it has
So don't
happened,
post
it has
it.
happened.
I'll bring
I
it
need
down.
assistance.
I know the sensor one I'm
They
going
need
use
to
now.
come
When
out
they carry
and
on
join me.
Twitter.
My
After
sister
another
needs to
person
be
post now,
filled
when
out.
this Oida Mola and go.
Don't treat
Abba
Alex.
them. When they don't like something, they'll come carry and come put. I'll still flag down. Now copy that, I'll flag it down. I'll
The
still
other
flag it down.
leg is at risk too.
So just save your page
Don't
stress. Don't put my
beg it.
video on your page. If you cannot fight
Even
the good
that
fight
leg,
with me, leave
that
it.
night,
If you are ready to fight the good
it
fight,
was a
any
very
blogger
hard
here ready, say
decision.
okay, yes. When
Everybody
campaigning
was
starts,
calling me
when we
to
don't
decide.
fight the good fights, when we don't protest for something.
Everybody was calling me that the doctors they were calling me to decide I could not talk.
Because that's the same thing I tell. Imagine that's the same thing I told Instablog. When Instablog, I tell I say if you cannot fight the good fight, don't post my video. They stop the good fights. Meaning say they were only keen on
right
posting the
hand.
controversies. Do you understand the agenda?
It's got the other leg, it get a speed.
So it's simple as ABCD. If you have a platform,
just
use your platform.
making
I don't
this
tag
live.
it. For me, my own platform is simple.
Because
I
I
use
show
my platform to
workings.
fight for
I go
people
show
who get the
workings.
voice.
I
And
know
I'll
the
do my
rants,
main
no.
character for them.
No, I don't do social
Do you
media
understand? When they
posting.
have the problem,
All I
go
want
there.
is Dangote
I'll use my
has
money
to
to
join
get them
me.
lawyers. I'll use my money to
And
fight
help
the
my
case and
sister
make sure they
because
get
she's been
justice.
crippled for
That's
life.
what I do. Simple.
Mona, check
If
her
I'm to
now.
petition, I go
You
use
know
my
how
money
much
like
she go
petition. I'll
for
go the
life.
petition, go
So
submit
my
that.
sister needs to be
Anything.
established for
That's what my
life. She
platform
just
is for.
graduated.
When no get the voice,
Her
and when no get
dreams
the
cut
platform, I use it for
short.
them.
Everything
That's all.
cut short.
Yeah, now what's me I did for be that?
Everything cut short.
And as for Dangote to say this all up,
I was already happy that last. I was even thinking when she graduates, my head go come down. I go feel calm down to do my life.
Not just Edo State, it's happening
they carry me go
everywhere. Not just only Dangote, other truck drivers, other truck companies, Bola and Co. I beg. There should be limits to the buying of Nigerian people with truck. Please, I beg you people. Thank you very much. Bloggers, when I don't yell, I don't want to see myself on our blogs again. Thank you very much. If you play, go and learn and you will learn the hard way.
See, if you say Dangote,
very dark man fits Nigeria.
Dangote,
I think God to provide 20 more of very dark man to Nigeria. If not, tell me why very dark man will come out and say na greed, na expecting a sister and everybody should run with it. Listen, this girl had an accident on the 11th of August. He never reached 1 month at all. Maybe 3 weeks and 3 weeks and some days. Right? This guy come and say na greed, na expire. Remember, this guy is critical situation. They are still trying to stabilize her. Today they carry and go theater 2 hours. They say flesh they die, they won't go quarter. This one they do, they won't go quarter. She eat food, she not safe. They need to remove her. This one they go, heart don't go, liver don't go. This one intestine no they work. They have to stabilize her. Listen, extreme critical situation accident. So tell me, do they no need to stabilize her face at least for 1 month before they careful? I can't do this, I do everything. No. He won't put us in a 1 billion. This sister was more interested in money. Please, any same person for this life as a whole, even if you are my enemy, when something happens, the least thing you are thinking is compensation.
So my sister needs to be established for life. She just graduated.
You see, no matter what you are fighting with your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, the moment their life is at risk, the only thing you think about is how to save them. Money is under the table. I don't care if you, even if it's rich. You see the fact that you people are running with this narrative. I cannot say much now to bring evidence home, but I hope nothing spoils this case, which I know Dangote, even if the only different assist our own, the Dangote Group they focus on, I know they will do it. Nothing will spoil them. So I cannot say much, but I will tell you.
If you say Dangote, they keep before
you will come back and say, oh, now I if it's a sane
make somebody help me tell her.
A sane society, will you say that? Society where they for the things, where Nepal not the take life, where youth forget work, where girls for the female work or go to school, where they pay citizens salary if they don't get work. It is a sane society. Will you say that? Accident was less than a month.
Even that leg.
They are still trying to stabilize this. Remember, she not get Bekus, she not get Nash, nothing, everything gone.
Everybody was calling me that.
So you think this person is just let's how? You need to stabilize her. I don't know what you know about medical. I know go school. I don't know this thing. But you have to stabilize because the BP is going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up. Blood pressure, like you people don't get this. You like to hear it from one person. See, I want to make you pray this prayer.
Because
that's the way people they believe in words of mouth. May not lie for your head.
No, I don't do social media.
Make that person not lie for your
all
head.
I want is Dangote has to join me.
If I not there for be like, oh, let me think it twice.
Because she's been
you see that 1 million. My brain was blow, my brain was blow. There was no paper.
So my sister
Fina
needs to be
did not come. Fina came for emotional advice. Listen, they don't already fair book say they want to see each other. VDM and Fina want to see each other. They don't book her. Now as Fina they ready to come. Now they
I was already happy
that people want to see you. Now she take
graduate
that man. After they ready they come. They say they want to see me. I beg I go just carry them come. Now she take those people. I go see very that now just follow me. This is not she knew that Dangote people was coming. She didn't know. She wanted to go and see BTM, way forward, maybe talk. It wasn't for missing. I don't think you people get it. You might not want to hear from me now because hate cover you. But I guarantee you after set and done, God
See,
touch your heart
if you say Dangote,
to know say you where they watch me now.
Free.
If your family member
don't buy me, they tell
your
her
own
now. Make
conversation
somebody
that
help
you
me
go dey
tell
think about,
Dangote.
which I know nobody
Make
on this
somebody help me
planet,
tell her.
not as big as
just,
this earth.
it has happened,
Now that
it has
person go dey think about compensation
they need
and
to
not the
come out
families.
and join me.
You
My
see, you
sister needs to
people,
be flown
you
out
lie, you people are chopping.
to treat her
You better pray
no
make person
head.
wey im mouth dey sweet matter.
Alright,
Where people they believe the words of mouth,
the
no
other
lie
leg,
on you.
the other leg
Anybody
is
will talk to her.
too.
Hey, you never like me. I don't watch you. I don't rate you. You never
Even
like
that
me.
leg,
You never
that
like me.
night
I'm
it
like,
happened. It
wait.
was a very hard
Then nobody
decision.
ever like you.
Everybody was calling me
Anybody
to
goes
decide.
against you never like you. Anybody
Everybody
will
was calling
disagree
me
never
that
like you.
doctors, they were
Anybody
calling
will
me
talk
to
to you
decide
never
that
like you.
talk. From here,
When
the court come out.
Hey, BDN,
here
beat
go.
Nigeria. We need 20 more BDN. So
Ahead.
tell up on the fear to talk.
Our right
He go
hand.
touch you like this.
One
He
leg.
go reach your door.
The other leg.
BDN go reach your door. Soon they go they use BDN. They
I'm
swear
just
for people.
making this live.
Yes. When you do person, but instead of them to
show
swear
workings,
for you,
I go
don't
show
send a
workings.
BDN book by you.
I know they rant.
Yeah, very soon.
I
This
don't
one
do
what
social
I
media posting.
Oh, yeah, why you know?
All I want is Dangote has to join me and help
you
my
see
sister
the other
because she's been
activists they
crippled
talk
for
to
life.
It they sound like
But no, check
broken.
am
You know
now.
when they break
You know how much she go
breaking
for
plate of
life.
bottle.
So my sister
When
needs
they do
to be
paka paka for
established
you,
for
now say
life.
they
Just
stand to them for
graduated.
you. I know
My
so all of them
dreams
know
got
what talk, they
shot.
know why interfere.
Everything
That's
got
not concerning me.
shot.
It go reach all of una to go one after the other. You know what I mean?
Shots.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Solomon Ehijia Tor Arase may be the true definition of the popular saying that police is your friend, if only you are a good character police officer. The former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Ehijia Tor Arase, apparently validated the aforesaid statement to be true when his death was announced on Sunday, August 31, 2025. The death sparked uncommon good words of condolences from many Nigerians. Unlike before, millions of Nigerians make negative comments against dead top government officials. But in the case of Arase, millions of Nigerians took to their social media pages and comment sections to say good things about the IGP that policed the Nigeria states between April 2015 and June 2016. Even human rights activists that always talk negative about the Nigeria police force, like Barrister Adiyanju Deji, was among the earliest mourners on Sunday to be at the residence of the late IGP to pay a condolence visit with a tribute, saying, "May the soul of former IGP Solomon Arase rest in peace. In my about 20 years of knowing him, he helped us get freedom for many student union leaders and comrades who were unlawfully detained. As IGP and after his retirement, we remained close and continued to seek his help whenever citizens' rights were abused. We also observed that many serving and retired police officers like DCP Olumuyiwa Adejobi had took to their personal social media accounts to tell the world how good Solomon Ehijia Tor Arase was during and after service. This, a Nigerian citizen by name Oluwasian Odetayo took to the Nigeria Police Force Facebook comment section and said, "Hope the current IGP and all other AIGPs and DIGPs and all Nigeria Police Force officers are online and reading comments. Hopefully we would get something like this to be written for them too when their own time comes." President Bola Tinubu, in a statement signed by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, condoled with the Nigeria Police Force, NPF, over Solomon Ehijia Tor Arase, CFR, the 18th Indigenous Inspector General of Police, IGP, who died on Sunday at 69. President Tinubu commiserates with the family, friends and associates of the highly resourceful officer. Arase's reforms as IGP and later as chairman of the Police Service Commission brought lasting changes to the force. The President acknowledges the dedication of the former IGP to enhancing security in the country, through initiatives such as the Intelligence Response Team, the Complaint Response Unit, and safer highway patrols. Reflecting on Arase's laudable service to the country, President Tinubu remarks, Arase served the police force meritoriously from 1981 to 2016. During his career, he led tactical, operational, and intelligence units, including United Nations peacekeeping in Namibia, the Commissioner of Police in Akwa Ibom, and the Principal Staff Officer to 3 IGPs. He was Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Force Intelligence Bureau, FIB, and Deputy Inspector General of Police, Force Criminal Investigation Department. After retirement, he continued to serve the nation in various public roles, including as chairman of the Police Service Commission and as head of the task force on implementing the Edo State Anti-Community Development Association law. His expertise extended to consultancy roles with the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, the European Centre for Electoral Support, the Human Rights Centre at the University of Oslo, and as a member of the Committee on Prevention of Torture in Geneva, Switzerland. I pray for the peaceful repose of the soul of this dedicated security expert, whose experience and contributions will be deeply missed by our nation. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force has opened a condolence register at the force headquarters, Abuja, for the revered former police chief, as senior officers and staff pay their respects. In honor of his memory, the police flag will fly at half-mast in all commands and formations nationwide, according to the Nigeria Police Authority. In a statement issued on Sunday, the Nigeria Police Force says it's deeply saddened to announce the passing of the 18th Indigenous Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and immediate past Chairman of the Police Service Commission, IGP Solomon Ehigiator Arase, CFR, NPM, FDC, FCIA, retired, who died in the early hours of Sunday, August 31, 2025 at Cedar Crest Hospital, Abuja after a brief illness. The news of the passing of IGP Arase was officially communicated to IGP Kayode Egbetokun through his first son, Mr. Solomon Ozaboyan Arase, Jr., on Sunday. IGP Solomon Arase, born on the 21st of June, 1956, in Owen West Local Government of Edo State, attended Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where he earned his first degree in political science. He later obtained a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Benin, a master's degree in law from the University of Lagos and a PhD in public law from the Ambrose Ali University Ekpoma, Edo State. He was enlisted into the Nigeria Police Force on the 1st of December, 1981. During the course of his illustrious policing career, IGP Arase served in various capacities including Principal Staff Officer, PSO, to 3 IGPs between 2002 and 2008, Commissioner of Police in Akwa Ibom State, Pioneer Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Force Intelligence Bureau, FIB, and DIG Force Criminal Investigation Department, FCID, respectively. He was appointed the 18th Indigenous Inspector General of Police in April 2015 and retired on the 21st of June 2016. He was thereafter appointed the Chairman Police Service Commission on the 24th of January 2023 by late President Muhammadu Buhari, a post which he held until the 10th of June, 2024. He is also a Fellow of the Defense College and a member of the prestigious body of benchers. During his tenure as the Inspector General of Police, he introduced major initiatives for the reform and improvement of the force, such as the Complaint Response Unit for swift responses to public complaints and adequate protection of citizens' rights. IGP Arase exemplified the highest standards of professionalism, bravery, and leadership, while his contributions to national security and police reform continue to resonate within the force and beyond. His passing is not just the culmination of a remarkable chapter but a moment of collective mourning of a man who served with pride and honor. Through the Solomon Ehigiator Arase Foundation, SEAF, he supported academic excellence by awarding scholarships to outstanding Nigerian students, with particular focus on children of deceased police officers and indigent students. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, while paying condolence visit to the family of the deceased IGP in Abuja today, extended heartfelt condolences on behalf of officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force, to the family, friends, and former colleagues of the late IGP Arase. IGP Kayode Egbetokun acknowledges the deep pain of this loss and prays for comfort, strength, and peace for all in this time of grief, while appreciating the contributions of the late police boss to police reforms and national security. The memory of late IGP Arase will forever remain etched in the heart of the force and the country he so faithfully served. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Signed, DCP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the Force Public Relations Officer for the Inspector General of Police on the 31st of August 2025. Former Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, in a statement on Sunday, said, "I received with shock the news of the passing of our illustrious son, elder statesman, and patriot, Dr. Solomon Arase. His demise is a monumental loss, not only to his immediate family but to Edo State and the entire nation." Dr. Arase etched his name in history as the first Edo son to ascend to the exalted office of Inspector General of Police. He bore the distinction with uncommon dignity, and in that high office, he served Nigeria with integrity, courage, and exemplary professionalism. His career was a legacy of discipline, excellence, and the highest ideals of public service. In retirement, he did not retreat from service. With a deep sense of duty to his people, he continued to lend his wisdom and experience. I had the privilege of working closely with him when, as governor, I appointed him to chair the Edo State Private Property Protection Committee, ESPPPC. In that role, he confronted the decades-long menace of land grabbing with firmness and fairness, restoring order, sanity, and justice to our communities. Dr. Arase was much more than a public servant. He was a man of deep humanity, humble yet brilliant, firm yet compassionate, a leader whose life reflected his abiding belief in justice and the common good. His passing leaves a void that will be deeply felt across the nation. I extend heartfelt condolences to the Aras family, his friends, colleagues, the Nigeria Police Force, and indeed all Nigerians. May the Almighty grant us all the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss, and may his soul find eternal rest. Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno said, "Yesterday, I received with shock and sadness the news of the passing of former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, CFR. On behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State, I extend my deepest condolences to his family, the Nigeria Police Force, friends, and associates. The late IGP Aras served our nation with distinction as the 18th Inspector General of Police, where he introduced critical reforms in intelligence gathering and crime prevention. He also served Akwa Ibom as Commissioner of Police with passion and contributed to the peace and security we enjoy today. Even in retirement, as Chairman of the Police Service Commission, he continued to serve our nation with commitment. May his soul rest in peace."
There must be consequences for crime.
Yes. So your word of advice to these young people?
I will want to appeal to the young ones out there that, you see, when you allow yourself to be used for the actualization of other people's dreams in such a negative way, you are doing a very big disservice to yourself and to the country. Violence is not a panacea to, problems. All of us will have problems, and we all try to struggle to make sure that, we are able to eke out a living. So I want to appeal to all the young men there. Whenever these guys, they call you out to come and, become destructive, you should also think that they have most of their children in the Ivy League schools, who are out there, doing their own thing too. So don't allow yourself to be used. There's always many tomorrows.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Management of Dangote Group says they are saddened over the death of Ruth Otabo, the sister of Big Brother Niger Season 7 winner, Ijoma Otabo aka Fina, saying they had concluded all arrangements and made all necessary efforts to fly the accident victim abroad for the continuation of her medical treatment, but the company was waiting for her doctors to certify her fit for air travel. The company owned by Aliko Dangote, the Africa richest man according to Forbes, made the statement in a press release issued few minutes ago after the death of the new graduate from Federal Polytechnic in Auchi was announced by her family through their lawyer, Barrister Justice Shegun Ojino of Echo Solicitors and Advocates, saying, the graduate who was knocked down alongside her motorcycle rider by a truck owned by Dangote Group in Auchi community earlier this month, passed on exactly 6:30 hours on Sunday. According to Dangote Group, we are deeply saddened by the passing of Ruth Ottobo, who was injured in the recent road incident involving one of our trucks in Auchi, Edo State. On behalf of the entire Dangote Group, we extend our heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, and loved ones at this difficult time. Since the accident, our officials and insurance partners have been by her side, covering all financial and medical costs and supporting her family. Arrangements had been made for her to be flown to India for advanced treatment, pending medical clearance from her doctors. Sadly, despite these efforts and Ruth's brave fight to live, we lost her today. At Dangote Group, safety, accountability, and compassion remain at the core of our operations. We remain committed to strengthening our safety systems and supporting those affected in moments of tragedy. May God grant her mercy and eternal rest. While announcing the death of the accident victim, Ruth Ottobo, who has been trending on social media space since the accident occurred, the family lawyer said, we remain solicitors to Ruth Ottobo, Josephine Ottobo, whose moniker is Fina, and the Ottobo family, and have their instruction to inform the public of this. With a heavy heart, the family regrets to announce the passing on to glory of their daughter, sister, mother on this 31 day of August, 2025 at about 6:30 hours. The family is presently grieving and will appreciate to be given a private moment to mourn the departed. The funeral arrangement will be communicated to the public in due course. Ruth's death comes just weeks after a tragic accident on August 13, 2025, near Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State, where she was struck by a truck owned by the Dangote Group. It was gathered that the accident occurred barely 6 days after Ruth celebrated of her becoming a graduate from Auchi Polytechnic, while thereafter waiting for the academic certificate to be awarded to her in order to become a graduate of the institution of higher learning. The certificate may now be awarded to her posthumously. The sudden loss has left the Ottobo family and fans in deep mourning, with many expressing condolences for the reality star and her loved ones, while some have different views over the events that unfolded between Fina and Veridakman over the matter. The lady, who is a mother of 2 children, underwent a leg amputation after being hit by a truck owned by the Dangote Group near Auchi Polytechnic, Edo State, on Wednesday, August 13, 2025. Eyewitnesses said the heavy-duty truck crushed her leg before it was eventually stopped by a bystander. Reacting, founder of Sowore Reporters News Media, Olumuyiwa Sowore said the lady's life was cut short by the irresponsible corporate conduct of Dangote truck drivers. In statement issued few minutes after the death announcement, Sowore said, a sad moment has struck. A beautiful life has been cut short by the cutthroat and irresponsible corporate conduct of Dangote truck drivers. BBNI's Fina has announced the passing of her sister, Ruth Ottobo. I commiserate deeply with Fina and the entire Ottobo family over this tragic loss of a brilliant graduate whose future was stolen by the recklessness of a Dangote truck driver. This death was not inevitable. It could have been prevented. It could have been avoided if drivers were properly trained, if Nigeria's terrible roads were fixed, and if after the accident, there had been timely and humane intervention. Instead, another family is left grieving, another young life wasted, and another reminder is written in blood that Nigeria continues to fail its people while powerful corporations escape accountability. May Ruth's soul rest in peace, and may her death strengthen the call for justice.
I get accident some days ago, so it really affects my 2 legs. They don't already come out one of my legs, and they don't refer me go Israel. I pay any amount to the 15. They don't pay 1.5 million for it. Any amount to the 50, but maybe just the add join me. Take pay for Israel and take now the for you. I beg now, go stand with this. I beg. Thank you.
From here, then the court come out. Yeah, from here go. Ahead and right hand. One leg is gone, the other leg, it get as it be. I'm just making this live because I dey show workings. I go show workings. I know the rants. No, I don't do social media posting. All I want is Dangote has to join me and help my sister because she's been crippled for life. Mona, check her now. What she go for life? So
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Men of the Nigeria police force in Anambra State have arrested a soldier with the Nigerian army, Dominic Orras, for alleged kidnapping in the state. According to Anambra State Police Command, the suspect confessed he deserted from the Nigerian army or absconded from military duties since November 2024, adding, 4 suspected members of the Biafra secessionist armed group have been shot dead in a joint operation with the operatives of Agony Chamber local vigilante group that lasted over 15 hours at our community in the Arumba North local government area of Anambra State. According to the spokesperson of the Anambra State Police Command, SP Tochukwu Akenga, in a sustained effort to rid Anambra State of criminal elements, police operatives attached to the Rapid Response Squad or KUZU in collaboration with the Anambra State Vigilante Group, AVG, Aganekemba, acting on credible intelligence, stormed a secessionist terrorist camp at our Arumba North local government area of Anambra State in the early hours of the 21st of August 2025. During the well-coordinated operation that lasted for more than 15 hours, the operatives successfully dislodged the insurgents, rescued a victim who had earlier been kidnapped and held hostage in the camp. It was reported that despite the payment of a ransom of 20 million nairas only by the victim's family, the hoodlums aborted his release until he was eventually freed by the joint security team. In the fierce gun battle that ensued, 4 of the criminal elements were neutralized. Exhibits recovered at the camp include 2 pump-action guns, 1 fabricated AK-47 rifle, 1 K2 assault rifle, 1 locally made hunter gun, 1 radio transmission box, 3 locally made improvised explosive devices, IEDs, 2 empty gas cylinders, 2 wraps of cable wires, 3 bags of 50 kilograms rice, 1 driver's license, 1 national identity card, 1 black Lexus RX 350 Jeep with registration number ACA 340 MA, 3 Toyota Camry cars with registration number ABC 268FQ, EKY 151 CD and FGG 706ME. Also recovered a 1 black Toyota Camry car, 5 mobile phones, Infinix X6716B, Techno Spark KL4 and 3 analog phones, sleeping materials, 1 desert boot, 1 big cooler, and a roll of tarpaulin. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ikyoe Oratugu, while assuring Hudi Anambra that the command remains resolute in its commitment to ensuring safety and security, has assured that extensive operations are ongoing in the area to track down and arrest other fleeing suspects as well as destroy other criminal camps in the state. Further developments would be communicated in due course. SP Tochukwu Akenga, Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command stated this in a press release on the 29th of August 2025. In a separate press release issued earlier on Tuesday, Tochukwu said, the Anambra State Police Command, in a swift operation on the 27th of August 2025, arrested 5 suspected members of a notorious armed robbery and kidnapping syndicate following a report that a victim was abducted on his farmland at Isiagu, Awka, and later released after ransom was paid. Acting on credible intelligence, police operatives attached to the Rapid Response Squad or KUZU stormed the hideout of the suspects at Notoko, Awka, which led to the arrest of the following persons: Michael Inwebodo, male, 30 years, Ez Friday, male, 29 years, Uche Akolo, male, 23 years, Shindu Gilbert, male, 29 years, and Dominic Orras, male, 38 years, a confessed deserter of the Nigerian army. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include 6 automatic pump-action guns, 63 rounds of live cartridges, 1 microscope, 5 machetes, 1 military cap, 2 police tear gas canisters, handcuffs, a robber's rocket launcher, criminal charms, 3 Motorola walkie-talkies, 1 jackknife, 1 power bank and cash sum of 26,000 nairas only. During interrogation, one of the suspects, Dominic Orras, confessed to having deserted the Nigerian army in November 2024. Meanwhile, necessary inquiries have commenced with the authority to guide police action and prosecution of other suspects. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ikioye Oratugu, while commending the operatives for the gallantry, urged residents to remain law-abiding and vigilant and to continue to report suspicious activities to the police for prompt action. He also assured Hudi Anambra of the command's unwavering commitment to combating violent crimes. SP Tochukwu Akenga, Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command stated this on the 28th of August 2025.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, says it has directed the third-party ticketing company to refund the money paid by all 583 passengers on board the Abuja-Kaduna train that derailed at Asham community in Kaduna State on Tuesday, saying, although no death casualty was recorded, but 4 out of the 7 persons that sustained injuries were serious, while 2 of them were discharged immediately at the hospital. NRC, in a statement on Tuesday, said, following the derailment of the Kaduna-bound Abuja-Kaduna train service earlier today at Asham, Kaduna State, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, wishes to provide an update on the situation. A total of 618 persons comprising 583 passengers, 15 NRC crew members, 1 medical personnel, 8 cleaners, and 11 catering staff were successfully evacuated from the train. Out of this number, 7 passengers sustained varying degrees of injury and were immediately transported by ambulances to hospital facilities by medical personnel mobilized to the site. The remaining passengers were conveyed safely back to Idu and Kubwa stations aboard a rescue train dispatched from Idu for that purpose. All have since returned safely to their destinations. In line with our commitment to passenger welfare, our third-party ticketing company has been directed to immediately issue refunds to all passengers on board the affected service. Furthermore, the process of investigation into the incident has commenced, under the supervision of relevant authorities and the Federal Ministry of Transportation. Meanwhile, all Abuja-Kaduna train services, AKTS, have been temporarily suspended, pending recovery of the site, further clearance, and official announcement of service resumption. We sincerely regret the inconvenience caused and thank our esteemed passengers and the general public for their understanding, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, stated in a press release signed by its managing director, Kayode Opefa. NRC had earlier in a statement on Tuesday said that the train derailed around 11 a.m. at Asham community in Kaduna State. Videos made available online by victims of the train accident indicated that some of the train coaches overturned as passengers and crew members on board stood at the hilling part of the bush waiting for rescue. Close observers said that the latest train accident adds to the troubled history of the Kaduna-Abuja rail line, which has experienced several incidents in recent years, including the deadly bandits attack in March 2022 that led to the killing of some of the passengers on board the train, with many of them also kidnapped and held hostage for months till ransom was paid. The latest derailment comes just a week after the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, reported another fault on the same corridor, when one of the train's coach wheels developed a hot axle near Rigasa station in Kaduna. The NRC explained that the fault, caused by excessive heat, was quickly managed and the train was returned safely to Kaduna. In a statement issued on August 21, 2025, the NRC had said, the Nigerian Railway Corporation has confirmed that one of the coaches wheel on the Abuja-Kaduna train service, AKTS, experienced hot axle some kilometers to Rigasa station in Kaduna. The incident, which happened on Wednesday evening, is due to Hot Wheels friction as a result of abnormal temperature due to excessive heat on the journal housing. However, the situation was immediately brought under control and the train marshaled to Kaduna and to safety. Consequent upon this incident, the train service will experience some capacity issues, which may affect some customers booked on the business class. Passengers who were booked on the affected coach for Thursday have all been contacted through the details they provided online. We have also made alternative arrangements to accommodate them. The management is working to ensure the disruption is minimal and that normal service would resume before the afternoon services. We assure all our customers and passengers of their safety on our train services, as we are determined to continue to provide the best travel experience on all our train networks. We apologize and regret all the inconvenience, NRC stated in a statement signed and made available by Chief Public Relations Officer of the Railway Corporation, Callistus Onyemadu. Punch newspaper reported on Wednesday that while the managing director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Kayode Opeifa, was speaking during an appearance on Channels Television's The Morning Brief, Opeifa assured Nigerians that the ongoing investigation into the incident would be thorough and transparent. Beyond apologizing to Nigerians, I want to state clearly, as the managing director and chief executive, I take full responsibility. When it comes to safety, there is no room for indifference. Once something like this happens, the chief executive must own it, and I do, he said. The MD said the injuries of 4 of the Abuja-Kaduna train passengers were serious. Opeifa stated, coming to the fatality and the casualties, there was no fatality. We thank God. That was a near miss, because for this kind of accident or incident, you see some level of fatality, but we thank God for this. And for those who were injured, 4 are serious, and another 2 or so were discharged immediately, and we will follow up on those that might still be in the hospital. I don't know as of this moment, we'll follow up. So we'll also follow up with the remaining 618 people on the train because of the post-traumatic experience. We have the full contacts and we'll do that. He, however, said that though the incident should not have happened, the NRC would ensure that there was no recurrence. I want to assure Nigerians that an incident like this is not expected, is not prayed for, should not be happening, but where it does, it is to bring out the best in us. And I assure Nigerians that just as we are doing currently on the Warrior Takpe, which he, the analyst, also mentioned, we shut down the Warrior Takpe route 3 weeks ago. I ordered the shutdown for safety reasons, and if you see the level of work the men have been doing on the track, cutting it off and replacing it is to make sure things like this don't happen, he added. Asked whether there was any suspicion around sabotage regarding the incident, Opeifa said, it would be premature for me to speak on that because that will be undermining the authority that is meant to do the investigation. But I want to assure Nigerians that our tracks are safe from vandals and terrorists. This particular track is being monitored by the military. You can see that immediately the derailment happened, within 5-10 minutes, the helicopter was there hovering. The Nigerian Air Force and the Nigerian Army are all along this corridor, and I think, for the record, we've not had any issue of banditry, terrorism attack along that corridor. But you can't wish anything away. The investigation will tell us what happened, and I wouldn't want to comment because I'm a party to the investigation. The NRC chief executive said that NSIB would have to declare the site open for reconstruction before the corporation would do a safety audit to determine when services on the route would be reopened. The first thing that will happen is that the NSIB will determine when the site is open for reconstruction. So, from the time they tell us that it's ready for reconstruction, I don't see us spending more than 30 days. So it depends on when they declare the site open for reconstruction, Opeifa stated. The incident occurred on Tuesday along the Kaduna corridor shortly after the train left Abuja at about 11 a.m., en route to Kaduna. A passenger on board the train described the scene as chaotic, with people scrambling to safety. Following the incident, the NRC suspended train operations on the Abuja-Kaduna route till further notice. Opeifa had, while briefing journalists in Abuja on Tuesday, hours after the incident, said that some technical staff of the corporation, alongside the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, and other relevant agencies, were on the ground at the train derailment site carrying out an investigation. He also dismissed claims that the trains were not in good condition and said the refund of the ticket fees had been initiated for all passengers on board. In January 2023, an Abuja-Kaduna train derailed in the Kubwa area of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, a few minutes from its destination, Kubwa.
Hundeyin, bringing you the news in a more digital way.
Apparently angered by the continuous mass killings in Imo State, the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, has personally led a squad of joint security team to forests in a Kigwe area of the state, in search of the leaders and members of the Biafra Liberation Army that comprises of Black Marine often operating between Nigeria and Cameroon borders, Biafra resistance fighters always operating within the southeast states, especially coordinating attacks against Nigeria security infrastructures within the connecting forests between Akigwe in Imo, Umaniochi, Ahafia in Abia, Afikpo, Ishiagu in Ebonyi, Ihiala in Anambra and Ogu in Enugu, among other sub-groups that are mostly commanded by Ifanyachukwu Okpegbu Okrementa as aka Major General Gentlejau, who hails from a Ku community in a Kigwe local government area that is currently witnessing mass killings in recent days. This, the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSSDG, Adeola Oluwatosin Ajayi, was seen in Imo State on Tuesday after a video went viral, showing 3 young men suspected to be members of Biafra fighters shot dead at a close range by someone suspected and widely believed to be Major General Gentlejau, who had accused the 3 young men of armed robbery. Thus, he said the 3 young men, who may be in their 20s, abandoned the duty posts and used their Biafra service guns to rob passengers by collecting their phones after the passenger's vehicle broke down on the road. The video elicited widespread condemnations against the Biafra commander, Major General Gentlejau, who had vowed in some video press releases that he would always take action against any member of the Biafra fighters that involved himself in the act of robbery against certain members of the public like innocent civilians. According to the Imo State Command of the Nigeria Police Force, the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, CP Aboki Danjuma, has deployed the command's tactical teams in synergy with other sister security agencies and local vigilantes to hunt down the suspected IPOB ESN miscreants responsible for the senseless attack that claimed the lives of 5 residents in Ajanamuna, Ezinaki, a Kigwe local government area, on the 22nd of August 2025, at about 22:30 hours. During the attack, Ede George, male, a member of the local youth security team, together with 4 villagers identified as Emeka Ezeagula, male, Chikodi Ezeagula, female, Chidi Chileke, male, and Ajike Nwankwo, male, were fatally shot. The assailants further set ablaze the residence of the youth security leader and destroyed 5 motorcycles. Upon receipt of the distress report, police operatives swiftly mobilized to the scene and evacuated the victims to General Hospital, Akigwe, where doctors confirmed them dead on arrival. Their remains have been deposited at the hospital mortuary, while 1 survivor is currently receiving medical treatment. The Commissioner of Police, CP Aboki Danjuma, who is personally leading an intense operation in Akigwe alongside other security agencies, condemned the heinous act and assured that no stone will be left unturned in bringing the perpetrators to justice. He stressed that those behind the attack will be made to face the full weight of the law. The CP also prayed for the repose of the souls of the deceased victims, wished the injured survivor a speedy recovery, and prayed that God grants the affected families the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. The Imo State Police Command urges residents to remain calm as security has been reinforced in Akigwe and its environs. Members of the public are further encouraged to support the police with credible and timely information that can aid ongoing investigations by reporting to the nearest police station or via 080347736000. DSP Okoye Henry, the police command spokesperson, stated in a statement issued on Monday. Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State said the DSS DG was in the state to deepen the cooperation among security agencies in the state. In his words, Governor Hope Uzodimma said, "I received the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Mr. Adeola Oluwatosin Ajayi, who paid a courtesy visit. His visit reflects the strong and long-standing collaboration between our administration and the nation's security institutions. Our dear state has continued to enjoy a cordial relationship with the DSS and other security agencies, a partnership that has significantly contributed to peace and stability within our communities. I assured Mr. Ajayi of our commitment to deepening this cooperation. As we work towards building a robust, inclusive security architecture, engagements like this remain crucial. We are determined to strengthen our synergy with all stakeholders to ensure the safety of our citizens and the continued progress of our state." Meanwhile, reports indicated that Major General Gentlejahu kinsmen from Aku community have distanced themselves from the activities of the Biafra fighter. The report circulated on social media a few days ago indicated that the people of Aku Autonomous Community in Okigwe local government area of Imo State have publicly dissociated themselves from the criminal activities linked to Afenyi Okpegbu Okrementa, as popularly known as Gentle Devil Yahoo. In a statement issued under the banner of the Aku Okigwe Restoration Movement, the community condemned what they described as years of terrorism, kidnapping, organ harvesting, arson, and other heinous crimes that have plagued the region for over 4 years. The group stressed that Gentle Devil Yahoo's actions do not represent the people of Aku or the wider southeast, dismissing claims that he is fighting for the actualization of Biafra. Instead, they described him as a devil in human form, feeding on human flesh and bringing untold pain and suffering. Residents noted that many families have fled their homes since 2021, living in helplessness as a result of repeated attacks. They insisted that the time has come for urgent intervention from the federal, state, and local governments, as well as non-governmental organizations and philanthropists. Among the pressing needs identified by the community are road construction. They appealed for the opening of access roads, noting that the absence of motorable routes has made it nearly impossible for security agencies to respond to crises. They listed key road networks requiring construction, including Ahube Aku Umoibu Road, Aku Amosu Ahube Road, and Aku Lomara Road. Rehabilitation of public infrastructure, the rebuilding of local markets such as Nkwo, Orie, and Ulo Nkwu Aku markets. Education and health, the reconstruction of Aku Secondary School, Community School, Central Primary School, and the restoration of Aku Health Center. Provision of essential utilities, the installation of electricity, which they said the community has never enjoyed, as well as access to clean water. The convener of the Aku Restoration Movement, Mr. Ugochukwu Godwin Ike, who signed the statement on behalf of the people, emphasized that addressing these long-neglected infrastructure projects would not only improve the quality of life but also help restore peace and security in the troubled area. We urge all stakeholders to support us in this critical effort to end insecurity and bring lasting peace to our land, the statement read.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way. Bringing you the news in a more digital way.